And we are live on PAM TV. It is snack and learn time. And folks, we were lucky enough to snag this guest right before she takes off for a vacation in California without us, apparently. Currently in Milwaukee, heading out to the West Coast. Luckily, to I think the spots that aren't going to be affected too much by the smoke.
Hopefully.
Good deal. Good deal. Good deal. So, people, we have the one and the only Jade Olivia on today. So, who is this person and why have I made absolutely sure that we all get to meet her? First of all, I'll tell you a story later, but officially, she's got a background in professional dancing, cheerleading, coaching, music, and marketing automation. I think she needs to do a little more, but anyway. She combines all of that to serve her favorite people in the world, which is entrepreneurs. And that's how I met her, luckily. And she's focused on digital marketing and automation as a consultant because she saw that entrepreneurs like us often make the same mistakes. So she pivoted her entire business time and energy to a much greater purpose of speaking, educating, and networking because she knows that when entrepreneurs connect at the right time for the right reasons, as she puts it, sparks can fly. And so that's actually what happened when Jade came to one of our campfires. Sparks flew. We had an amazing campfire that day with all sorts of synchronicities. So, Jade, welcome. Thanks so much for doing a snack and learn.
I love this so much. Thanks for having me.
And this, we talked for what, an hour the other day because I'm so fascinated with what you do. And
it was way more than an hour.
It probably was, wasn't it? Because I just got you nerded out and I got totally like into it because in my business, I know, and that's why I'm really glad we're having this conversation today. Like, I'll get clients in and I know what we're doing for those clients, and we touch base with them once a month, emails. And in my mind, we keep them up to date on what we're doing. But in truth, they don't really have any idea. I think they kind of come in, they know they're in a great place, they know their finances are going to be taken care of, but they don't really get constant touch about the how and where we are and how why they can have that confidence level necessarily until they meet with us the next time. And it's on a pretty regular basis, but still there's this window where they're kind of not left hanging because things are being taken care of, but I just don't feel like we're giving them as much information as we could.
Oh, yeah.
But yet I worry about like overwhelming people with information. So this customer journey has really been on my mind, and it's sort of your specialty. So you know me well enough to know now that my entire thing is relationship building. That's to me, and it is yours too, which is why we met in camp at a campfire. And um, how do you counsel somebody like me who doesn't want to overwhelm, wants to build relationships, and has a mind-numbingly feared topic of finance? Like, what does a customer journey look like? What is a customer journey, I guess, to start?
Right. Well, before I jump in, I just have to put a Pam plug in here. I solely built my business on relationships, despite being in like the marketing and automation business. So like when people like Pam come out and just like put yourselves out there and like market by just being yourself, I mean that's the dream. If you haven't
so much fun.
You haven't been to a campfire yet, you are missing out.
Yes, listen to Jade. Listen to campfire. We'll drop the link in here for you. There's so much fun.
Absolutely. But you really hit the nail on the head. It's like you want to make sure that you're communicating, but you don't want to poorly communicate and bombard people. I mean, how many crap emails do we all get?
That's my point.
Ridiculous. It's crazy.
I just go through and go block, 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 block.
Right. But here's the magic sauce. And you can take a page from Pam's book here is let's say all things equal, let's say you get 10 emails a day from every single person. You're still going to open some and not open some, right?
That's true.
Which ones do you open? The ones that are speaking to you, the ones you care about, and the ones that are authentic, right? So automation, the word automation is inherently a little bit cold, but don't think of it that way. Think about automation as it's an extension of you. And so you can either sit down and, Pam's talking about, I've been meaning to do like a nurture sequence. If I get to know someone, how do I explain the whole thing, get to know them, introduce me, my mission, what I care about,
Yes.
how I can solve their problems. All of those things are valuable, but think about how many emails you've received doing it the wrong way. Delete,
So
delete,
many.
unsubscribe. So, the number one thing to keep in mind the entire time is if you're doing any email or text marketing or automation whatsoever, it should only be an extension of your true self. Otherwise, you're wasting your time, you're wasting everybody else's time.
I love that. That is that I don't want to lose that thought. I want to unpack that a minute. So,
Mm,
one of the things that I'm always hypersensitive about as we automate is losing that personal touch. So,
yeah.
in the automation, I still inject a lot of manual stuff,
Yeah.
sometimes randomly, sometimes not randomly. And is there a way to do that so that you can make sure you're really still making people feel cared for? Because once they're in this circle, I want them to know we've got their back. And I'm always afraid that an automated sequence is going to make them go, oh, yeah, here we are, another one.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There's a couple different ways. You can include deliberate engagement along the way. So
Okay.
let's say you have a meet Pam sequence, which is a great introductory nurture, kind of like I said, they opted in for something, introduce yourself, why they should care, that they have a problem, that you're solving their problem. All of those things that could be, a several weeks of
Got it.
really good emails. But one method is you could inject engagement on purpose, like literally the first sentence in the email is like, hey, I actually want you to reply this email because I actually care. What do you think about X? Do you suffer from
Ah,
Y? Let's chat. I enjoy these conversations. I'm a human being.
I
So
like that.
you can get, and not only, and it's a double-edged sword. Not only is that you being authentic, but it's really great for your email hygiene, for your deliverability. When people are clicking and replying, it's so good. That tells the marketing email servers, hey, this person sends good emails. We'll put them on the good ones.
Oh, okay. There's a term I hadn't heard. What did you call it? Automation hygiene?
Yeah, email
Email,
deliverability. And I
email.
have friends that are experts in this. They charge, $2,000-$3,000 just to make sure your emails get through. So
Wow.
there's no such thing as 100% deliverability, but the servers will pay attention to who's sending good emails and who's sending crap emails.
Based on how people respond to them.
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay, I like that. So literally allow it to break the cadence a little bit, and if somebody does answer it, answer that personally.
yeah, yeah,
There's a lovely hybrid of automation and personal. I really,
yeah.
really like that.
Or you could, let's say you have an email sequence, and the way that that's designed for like marketing automation experts like myself, it's literally a canvas. It's like you're an engineer and you're placing, okay, place an email here and then a timer. You place an email. Place in a task for yourself to send them a Facebook message that's an actual thing. Like I responded to, I don't even know how Pam found me, but she sent me a message and I
They
was
hunted you down.
yeah, I was like, she looks cool and real. And I responded.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
What if you automated a prompt to yourself to reach out and be genuine to
That
every
is
single person
gold.
that inquires?
So automate a prompt to do something manual.
Yeah. Oh,
I
absolutely.
love that.
Yeah. I mean, think
That
about it.
is
People do it all the
gold.
time for like sales pipelines for finance or real
Yep.
estate. It's a soft touch business. And your business is no different, even if it's automated.
It's interesting how our minds work, right? So I have this whole, yep, that's how I work a pipeline in Salesforce or whatever I'm using to keep track of leads, right? That would
Mhm.
be a whole bunch of prompting to do manual things.
Mhm.
But when I think about automation, it never occurred to me to prompt myself to do manual
Yeah.
things.
Or
That's
like
brilliant.
here's a really common and great example that not enough people do. Someone buys something from you, automate a task to send them a handwritten thank you card.
I love that. I love
I
that.
do I do that for one of my clients. I'm his community manager,
Uh-huh.
and we get people posting in the group all the time, like, "Look, someone actually wrote me a card." That
I
never happened.
love that. And I have cards that we
Mhm.
can just grab the what do you do to get the physical email address? to do that?
That's a great question. So let's move on to the next topic, which is like the full customer journey.
Yeah.
So I want everyone, I'm not showing my screen right now because I love like looking at you guys. So just use your imagination. Imagine an infinity symbol, but with three. So three little,
Yep.
with three
Oops,
circles.
sorry about that.
You're fine. I don't have any kids screaming right now. So
I'm going to mute because the chirper is chirping.
Right. So the three major steps of your customer journey are collect leads, right? Get prospects, pretty simple. Convert them, so like sell, pretty simple. And create fans. Creating fans on the end is like something where you would send them a handwritten thank you card. Creating fans is the most neglected phase and should not be, because if you paid and did the work to get someone through to even buy, if they repeat buy or refer business to you, that's free marketing because you're not paying for ads or anything. So leverage the back end, make them love you, make them be obsessed with you, make them think that you're the best thing since sliced cheese and they're never ever going to go to anyone ever again.
I love that. In fact, I was listening to
Oh.
and somebody said there's all this real estate on the receipt out of anything that somebody buys online. Like, say they take your package and you send them, boom, here's your receipt. You can use that real estate to do something really cool and surprising, so that it's more than just a receipt. Like, maybe it is something like, hey, give me your mailing address so that we can send you a little something.
I love buying makeup on Instagram because once I did it once, they target me, and I'm a sucker for good ads. And like, I know it's automated, but I feel so freaking special when I get this like glittery box in the mail with like a thing that I bought, and then there's like, here's an extra free eyeliner because we value. And I'm like, oh,
Yep.
you sure as hell do.
Yes, you do. And I do this automation for a living, and you value me.
I know. I mean, I get automated emails from my dentist on my birthday, but I'm still like, moi?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh gosh.
So let's talk about this. So yeah, we got to collect leads. We've got to sell. We kind of know, well, we don't always know all the mechanics. We know we have to do that. But talk about creating fans. Like, is the idea to create a lifelong customer and somebody who will refer you forever? So do you keep engaging with them even after, say, for example, it's a coaching business and you have them for 6 to 12 months of coaching and things go great and, they're ready to fly out of the nest. How do you keep in touch, like, and not be like, just because you care, and still have it be a value add to the business at the same time?
Yeah.
Like, they're referrals, I guess.
Yeah, there's three ways. I mean, at post fulfillment, let's say they paid for something and you can do the same. Let's take the obvious away. There's three things you can do to create raving fans after the fulfillment process itself. Impress them. So we just talked about that. Thank you cards, extra gifts, a personal call. Hey, how did it go? Whatever. Like, do it. Take the extra step and do it.
Yep.
Number two, multiply. Ask for referrals. And not how many people do you know say, oh, I don't market. I only work off of referrals. Well, have you formalized it?
Have you ever asked for a referral?
Or do you just keep hoping the salmon are going to jump in your mouth? like that's great. That's great that you're so good that you don't need to ask for business, but at least formalize the process so that you automate either a task for yourself or an email out to someone 3 months after they buy. Like, how was it? Would anyone else really value this like you did?
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
So
yeah, that makes so much sense because, like, I just did recently. I asked for testimonials and it felt so hard. And yet every single person went, oh my God, absolutely. And like, if somebody's done right by me, I would love to do a testimonial.
What wouldn't I do for you, Pam? I mean, seriously.
But same thing. Like, like you said, if you said to me, hey, Pam, can I get a testimonial about how awesome I am in a social situation on campground and how much information I give away in a 10-minute period, I'd be all over that.
I'll make a video testimonial for you later.
Yeah, right. But that's, I mean, we, as much as we hesitate saying, please, would you do a referral?
Mhm.
We love doing them for people when
Yeah.
we're genuinely pleased. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting point. Oh, well, what's the third thing?
The third thing is to continue to sell, either cross sell, down sell,
Got it.
upsell, but you could, do like a combination. So like, let's say someone bought your coaching package. And what if the coaching package is all you do and they've completed their coaching? When you're done, if you have nothing else to sell to them, ask them like, if they love you, let's say they're raving fans and they thought you're the best coach ever, and they want more from you, that probably means it's time for you to start scaling and growing and offer like coaching
More.
2.0,
Yeah.
or scale it to like a group coaching program or a Facebook community where your graduates of your coaching program can like, be elite somewhere else, like
It's
what else?
interesting. You're
What's next?
saying this, and I'm remembering, like, one of the things I did in corporate was, along many things, was many things that I said are wrong. I was like, there's a way to do business right. And I meant that when I said things like making people decisions that aren't necessarily bottom line for the quarter, but their overall business value, encouraging employees to grow as much as they can, even if that risks them leaving us, because our job is to grow them and have them have the best life ever. And if that works here where we are, that's great. And if that's somewhere else, let me help you find it. That all of that, there was a way to do it right. And what I'm hearing, and you're probably going to go, duh, of course, but it just hit me when you were talking about this, is I want to have a customer journey manager, a human, not an automation, but a human who may have some automations, but whose job is to take all of my clients and spend their time connecting with them. And that to me would be a full-time job and worth every penny you could possibly get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it never occurred to me before.
That's, I have a couple of responses to that. So first of all, that sounds like the role of either a community manager, where it's their job to build relationships with your clientele. That's not your job if you're like the subject matter expert and don't have time to do that. That's literally the role. Oh, perfect. Hey, but also think about how many businesses do you know that either have some sort of front of house manager, like a receptionist,
Yes,
their admin staff? You walk into your dentist. I can tell you without a doubt, I've been going to the same dentist for 10 years. I know her name is Sue, and I can't wait to walk in the door and for her to be like, how are the kids?
Yep.
Or
well, I hear you too. And
just treat their employees like crap, and they have a new 16-year-old working the front desk every day.
And they know your clients better than anybody. And the thing that I like about this, and we have a community manager who helps us, does an awesome job managing from lead up through when they become a client. And then they still get managed in that community, or seen to and cared for in that community, in the campground here, even beyond, even if they do become a client. But I don't have anybody managing their client, their post purchase. Now I'm on board with a bookkeeper and a coach, and I'm rocking my finances. I don't have anybody managing them in that process, because it's not a Facebook process or a group or a community per se. It's an individual journey for them. It's the front desk receptionist who knows their kids, when their mom's going into elder care, all that really knows them at an intimate level and can keep us informed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you see someone's commenting on Facebook. I have clients literally asking for a client experience manager. So that brings a great point, Facebook fans, is that like sometimes entrepreneurs can be, like, I can juggle everything. And it's really hard to let go of the control. And they think that if they hire, so Pam, how long did it take you to pull the trigger and hire when? And now that you have her, you're like, why didn't I do this 15
Cannot
years ago?
imagine living without the team I've got now. And it's all come together in like the last 6 months. There's no way. I can't.
It's okay to delegate, guys. And that's actually the other thing I was going to say, Pam, to your comment about like, maybe should I have a customer journey manager? The answer is no, because if, and like I'm biased, I'm a Keep certified partner. And there's Keep Pro. It's only $99 a month. You know, it used to be Confusionsoft, and you know, that's a whole
Infusionsoft.
that's a whole nother conversation. But there is a very like easy to use version that includes easy and advanced automations. And the way I like to say it is, having a tool like Keep, or there's comparable tools too, is the cheapest employee you'll ever have. Like, it manages your tasks. It sends out
Got it. It is your customer experience manager.
Right. But being a tool is only valuable when you use it. And that's why the Keep certified partner community is so rich, because like we eat and breathe this stuff all day long. And I love going into my clients' apps and like building out the automation based on like the real relationship conversations that I have with them. They're like, I wish that I could, check in with everyone 2 weeks after their buy. And I'm like, boom, done.
Love it. And this is actually an interesting question, because one of the things that trips us up, I know with me, is if I start to think about something like this, I just head down a rabbit hole. And for entrepreneurs, part of the reason we delegate is so that we don't head down rabbit holes where we're not experts, right? The thing that we learn, and we all go through this as entrepreneurs, is, oh yeah, delegating is great. You have to learn how to do it and let go of control and know that there are people who are going to do it better than you ever could. Mm-hmm. And that you're still providing guidance and bumpers and all that. But one of the things I've been down many a times is, well, which one of these things do I use? And you very clearly land in the Keep column. And I'd love to actually have some reasons why. Like, what is it about Keep that you like and would you advise that people only dive into this if they have somebody who really knows it? Or is it something an entrepreneur could also manage by themselves relative to some of these other tools?
Yeah, I would say, so with the advent of Keep Pro, it's the more like user-friendly version. It used to be pretty advanced and was a turnoff for a while, and they've evolved. So now there's Keep Pro, which is a very beautiful, easy to use interface. In the Pro column, reasons to use it is it's an all-in-one tool, and I'm very cautious with the word all-in-one. So the reason it's not super expensive, because it doesn't have the fancy things. Otherwise, it would cost too much, but it has the necessaries. It's a CRM, so your contact database. It comes with a business line, so you can text and make phone calls from a business line on your phone. Text clients, turn it off at 5 p.m., set your availability. It's pretty cool. It comes with a calendar scheduling tool, so you don't have to pay for Calendly separately, pay for your business line separately, pay for your CRM separately. It's all the same thing. And of course, the robust automations. So you can do easy automations like, if someone purchases, then send a thank you text. But there's advanced automations where like that's like my geek out. That's like my version of Pam and her spreadsheets, where like I can design like it looks like a Andy Warhol painting.
All over the place.
They live in Minnesota. They clicked on this, but they didn't click in 24 hours. Make them go.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So you can, and this is actually an interesting question. So I have individual clients. Mm-hmm. That each team member has a certain number of them, that kind of thing, and I would love to stay in touch with them with messages from me on a regular basis, but each one is on a different path. Mm-hmm. I could still give you, if we got something like Keep and I hired somebody like you, we could still come up with a journey for them in Keep or in an automated system that would, everybody I know goes through this certain set of things when they work with us. I know what the emotions are going to be as they work through it, from like 3 or 4 different starting points. I can say, this is what that's going to be. This is what 99% of the time it's going to be accurate. So
then automate it if it's always the same.
That's what I'm thinking. And it gets me back in touch with them, because a lot of times once they're being cared for, I don't get to see and talk to them, and I miss that. Mm-hmm. And so I could actually look at responses that we might elicit and that kind of thing, and really, I love that.
Automate things like, how are we doing emails. Mm-hmm. You can automate things like 2 months after they buy, send an email with a scheduling link to actually have FaceTime with you.
I love it.
And the scheduling software is included in Keep. So
it's all embedded, so I don't have to learn these integrations and Zapier and all that stuff as well. Wow. So, and you can build sales pages and stuff there. Like you can do everything basically.
Mhm.
You could.
Yeah, so it's not a website, but it includes landing pages, and this is kind of how we got on this topic. So you were like, but wait, how do I even get people's email address?
Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I was talking about the three phases are collect leads, convert clients, create fans. And we spent
Yes.
some time on fans. Really great stuff. Let's go back to the beginning, collecting leads. Like the main components of that are making sure you're talking to the right people or no one's going to care.
Amen. Yep.
Attracting them with a lead magnet. And okay, maybe 15 years ago, it was okay to have a pop-up on your site that says, sign up for our newsletter for updates. Ain't nobody going to click on that, guys. I'm sorry.
Not anymore.
It's not going to happen. You need to give out a very valuable thing for free to get people to trust you. Because people, ever since the advent of lead capture, giving up your email address for information, we just said we get way too many emails that we don't.
Oh yeah.
So people are much more cautious with this tactic now. So that means don't use it as an excuse to not do it. Use an excuse to do it well. Like if you're going to collect email addresses, give them something really, really cool, and they're going to love you, and then they're going to want to open your emails.
Got it. So that's setting the stage with the very first thing that you offer to get them across and into your world.
Right. And like, don't worry about like giving away the baby with the bathwater. Like, oftentimes lead magnets are the what, and they have to pay for the how.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've never worried about two things I've never worried about. And I don't know if it's just abundance mindset or maybe it's stupidity. I'm not sure, but it's competition. Like there's no competition for exactly what I do. And I'm not competition for exactly what anybody else does. So that's just never bothered me. And if somebody wants to take my stuff and use it, great. It's useful stuff. And you'll use it differently than I use it, which will make it a different, not better or worse, but a different product as well. So that's that the lead magnets are like that. I'm like, if you want to take this and go sell it because you can add something of value that people will find and pay for, that's great. There's only one profit concierge method, and that's all. That's what I do. So when we're giving away stuff, that's kind of one of the first things I see sometimes is, wow, if I give it away, what are they going to buy? And I don't think people give enough value to the special sauce as opposed to just the thing that they do.
Yeah, like it's okay to put yourself out there. Otherwise, they're never going to find out why you're so great. They're never going to give up their email address. They're never going to get your great emails.
Yeah.
And by the way, text automation is included in the Keep Pro app too. So if you wanted to, like I said, if someone buys, then send them a thank you text.
Yep, I love that.
Texts
And
have a 95% open rate compared to emails with like 21.
I was going to say, so is there any move to just make it all text stuff that you do with people instead of email?
It really depends. I mean, that's a whole nother conversation on like when is it good to use text versus email.
Yeah.
Texts are appropriate for, because texts are very personal. Like that's my device, and I have hundreds of unread emails. I have 0 unread texts.
Yep, me too.
That's my personal space. So if you invade that, someone's gonna unsubscribe super fast. They're gonna hit. They're gonna write stop before they even blink.
Yep.
So here's some use cases when text marketing would be appropriate over email marketing. If you need it to be opened, like, hey, you just bought something, click your booking link right now.
Got it.
Like, otherwise, what if they just don't see your email and then they call you and complain and cancel because they didn't get their thing? Like, send them a text like, hey, thanks for buying. Here's your booking link for your first coaching call.
Great.
Make sure you saw it. Email me if you have questions or call. Here's my number. Like that kind of thing.
Yep.
Because I mean, it's instant gratification. I bought something and now I'm being rewarded with my thing.
Cool. And so it's probably not a scam because I just heard from them.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Secondarily, another reason to use text if it's like a time sensitive thing. So like I use text often when I'm like helping out with events. So also I'll time out text to be like, the next speaker starts in 5 minutes. You don't want to do that in an email. They're not going to, emails load in batches and they get buried. And then they're like, shoot, I missed my favorite speaker.
Yep, been there.
So that's a great use case for using text over email. Or you can use them together. So if you sent out an email that has like, it's long, it's good. It's full of like, it's really important stuff. Like you're an attendee for an event and here's the agenda and you need to make sure you do blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Send a text along with it saying, hey, check your email. I sent you this, it's due by next week. And it's a really long checklist. I want to make sure that you got everything you need. Let us know if you have questions.
Love that.
Great use case for text over email. But generally, email is most appropriate, especially while you're getting to know people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny because I do, and I may go overkill on this, but one of the things I do when I'm looking at emails or texts that come from clearly some sort of automation process is pay attention to how I react to them.
Mm-hmm.
But then I find I get hypercritical about my own emails out because I'm like, I would delete that. I would delete that. I wouldn't read that. That's not
the shorter the better. The marketing rule of thumb is
that's a big tip.
People's attention spans are getting smaller every day. I mean, there's so much noise out there and there's so much crap. And if you're watching this and you care about Pam, I know that you understand this, like you like the good stuff, right?
Yep.
So make your emails super short. And if you have a lengthy piece of information to share, link it to your website. Again, if someone opens and clicks, great for your email deliverability, great for your email reputation. It tells the servers that you're valuable.
And good for your website.
Great for your website. So if someone's reading the thing and they're like, oh, there's the store.
Huh. That makes a ton of sense. Okay. Yeah. Love that. Oh my God, the golden here.
Yeah, I took on a client recently who in finance does a weekly market report and used to put it in like the whole thing in an email. And I changed it. So like the summary's on top, click to read the whole article. And I linked to his site where the blog post, they're all archived there. Everyone can read through them. They can learn more about him, book a call. It just makes more sense.
And what happened to readability?
The
open rates.
The open rates were great because people were expecting and wanting it. But furthermore, it gave him a lot more. Before we did that, he didn't know how many people were reading the whole thing.
And now he does because he gets the traffic.
We have to click to read it. We know how many people are actually reading it.
That is so cool. And the thing I like about that too is there's a way, I know, and I'm always saying, I know there's a way to do this, but I don't know how, to figure out where people are coming from. Like physically where they found you, how they learned about you, et cetera. And, not keeping it on the back of an envelope, but actually keeping track of where people came from. And you can do all that inside an engine like Keep as well.
Yes. Yeah. So, a lot of people will carry around. I had a client email me this the other day, not email me, physically mail me an envelope of business cards. He's a little old school. And so he was like, is there a way to put them in my Keep and know that they came from this event? And I was like, I got you, boo. If you want to pay my hourly rate to do some data entry, you got it.
And here's a QR code for next time.
And then I built him a text opt-in. So now when he's on stage speaking, his slides say text Thrive to this phone number, and they get a text right away that's like, hey, what's your email address? Bam. Cool. What's your first name? Bam. Awesome. What's your last name? Bam. Marketable. And
he no longer needs to go get business cards. Does he like going, wow, that's amazing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? I think it's about me, Pam. Like I make people feel comfortable and safe. So like, my heart breaks when people are like, I'm sorry, I didn't know that. And I'm like, you didn't know until you knew.
Oh my God. That is so, I feel that so much.
Watch these lunch and learns. Like I literally make it a point to have a Zoom meeting with someone I haven't met yet, at least once a month. And you have no idea how much I've learned.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Every day, every campfire, every snack and learn, I walk away with something. I go, wow, I had no idea. And that's why it's kind of cool. We're going to index all of these as well, because we are indexing them in YouTube, but like Wen is pulling out all the gold nuggets and like literally saying, if you go to minute such and such, you can find this. And I know we've collected 500 of these nuggets over the 60 or so snack and learns we've done, because it's just, and I love the way you say that. Yeah, you don't know it until you know it, and it's okay. It's the same thing with finance. People are always going, I can't believe I did this. That was so stupid. How would you know? We don't teach any of this stuff in middle school, in high school, in college. We don't even teach you how to balance a checkbook. So how could you possibly know how to run finances for a business? That's for geeks like us to do marketing and finance. So I want to tell people where they can learn more about how to find out more about this customer journey. And I love that you are an offering for folks. And God, take her up on this, a free customer journey audit.
Mhm.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to the link, jadeolivia.co/LCM. It is .co, not .com.
Correct.
Okay,
But if
so
you type in .com, it'll redirect to the right place.
okay, good, good, good. So I'm going to actually drop this in the comments as well. But why don't you tell us what that audit is like?
Yeah, so it's actually, you'll notice if you click on the link, friends, it will take you to a page that basically explains like this is the customer journey. It has that picture we talked about, the infinity symbol. So it shows you what the customer journey is. It explains that I want to learn about keeping free audit. I got you, boo.
We got the
Uh,
link in the comments.
got you. And basically, instead of me explaining possible use case, so like Pam is great. She's poking holes in it, right? But until I have a one-on-one conversation with you saying, are you targeting the right people? Are you attracting them with a lead magnet? Are you capturing them with a web form? Are you engaging them with nurture? Are you making an offer? How are you closing the sale? Are you delivering? Are you impressing? Are you multiplying? Like, I'm going to ask you a question about each. And then, so it's going to be like, I do this, I do this, I don't do this. I do this, I do this, I don't do this. And then when we find where the holes are, that literally, I mean, you're building a bridge. And so if you plug all those holes, a customer has a cohesive journey. And when you have a cohesive journey, it creates predictability.
Oh my gosh, which is what we all want.
Right? Like you don't want to be a spaghetti on the wall entrepreneur. You want to build something, see what's working, what's not, plug the holes where it's not. And let me tell you guys, I'm just spoiler alerts. The end of the audit isn't, oh, and by the way, by my hourly rate, I'll build all of your automations and make money. Like, no, actually, I'm trying to pivot. I mean, if you want it, yes, I will. But I'm trying to pivot away from consulting. You'll notice the jadeolivia.co site is about me speaking. I'm impact driven, and I want to get on stages, and I want to excite entrepreneurs and like help them grow. So,
And this one is awesome on stages, people. If you ever get a chance to see her on a stage, you don't want to miss it. Just for the record. Okay, back to you.
yeah, Pipe is my middle name. So if you have any like summits or conferences you want me to come and share information at, absolutely. I speak on customer journey and I speak on relationship marketing, which Pam, we could talk about that all day, every day.
Yep.
I would love privately. I'm going to ask for your feedback on some things.
Okay, cool. Yay, I'm excited.
Yeah, because marketing is just so fad driven, and I can tell you more things I don't like than I do.
Awesome. Well, the cool thing is relationships are always relationships.
Right.
So no matter how these fads come and go, and God, you do need to hire somebody to keep up with them because you could drown in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the relationship. Like there are thousands of people sending out messages now to join Facebook groups.
Mm-hmm.
And to stand out from the noise, the only way to stand out from noise is to build a relationship. And so and people often say, well, we can't afford that. It's too manual. It's too this, it's too that. It doesn't have to be. And you can still get the right people. You could still meet cool people like Jade, who I didn't know you 6 months ago.
Yeah.
You didn't know me. We didn't know who each other were.
Yeah.
And now, we've connected. Jade's connected with somebody else who came to that campfire. I'm sure through him, you guys, or him through you guys have connected. And it's like this awesome spider web that if you don't do relationship marketing, you never get to enjoy the fun of that. So
totally. So really at the end of the consultation, I'm going to say it sounds like where you need the most professional help to patch that customer journey. And again, like don't spin your wheels. Like I'm going to say like, I know someone that solves that problem exactly, and I'm going to recommend a provider.
Awesome.
So that's my funnel. Is I'll help you identify the problem, and then I'm going to give you to the person that solves those problems for me, the people that I trust.
And are you still solving problems for some people, or some of the problems that we need you? Because I want to work with you.
Yes, I'll never turn down a client.
I don't want you to send me to somebody else.
Right. But like honestly, so the whole like the customer journey audit, like if it turns out the thing you need, it's likely not what I do because I don't do everything. Mm-hmm. So if you're like, I just need more leads, I need ads. I don't do ads.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you know people who do ads.
Right. Yeah. Or if you're like, I have leads, but I'm not capturing them, then I can help you. I can help you automate that process of having them give up their email address and triggering off the nurture, the things that
Love
you
that.
resonate with.
Love, 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 love
That's
that.
what I can do. And I guys, I'm an open book. I'll tell you if I can help you. I'll tell you if I know someone who's way better at it than I am.
This is why we hit it off so well. People like cock their heads at us, but to me, that's the way to do this, is get people exactly what they need. And then people are doing the same thing for me. I want to get you where you can be helped. And that is amazing. All right. Any parting gem you want to drop with us, that if we did nothing else about our customer journey, what is the one thing we should do?
Capture.
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 Don't lose data, basically.
Like so Pam, I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Cool.
Pam's like, I have this Facebook group and I have a community. And I'm like, do you know all their email addresses? And she's like, maybe not.
Yeah, some of them, maybe a little bit.
This is one of my fave sessions. You're my favorite.
Woo! I'll have to find out who that is. I got to go jump over to Facebook.
Yeah. So capture, like, the most powerful tool you have on yourself as a business owner is how big your list is. It's a fact. It's math, right, Pam?
Mm-hmm.
Math.
Yeah, it is math, and it is yours.
And you convert 10% of them, you have one customer.
And you have that reliability you're talking about. And Facebook doesn't own it. Google doesn't own it. Nobody owns it but you, and you can control what happens with that audience, which I love as well. That is beautiful. So the one nugget, folks, capture your data. And I'm the biggest guilty one. I'm working on it. But I can't believe I don't want to hang up. I don't want to go away. Let's just hang here and be live, like a co-working space for.
Okay. All right. So remember, I said I wanted to ask you privately about.
Yes.
About relationships. Can we pivot to relationships for a minute?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I've been digging deep into my soul and finding out, like, what's the biggest impact I can have. And I started speaking about customer journey, and I'm like, it's bigger than that. Like, what is it? What's my thing? And then I realized that it's the binding thing between all the things I love: speaking, automation, entrepreneurship. The thing is relationships, hands down. Mm-hmm. And I've been digging deep into, like I said earlier, marketing is very faddish, the D, fad-ish. I can name more things I dislike than I like. I see lots of people succeeding with their methods, and if I tried it for a millisecond, I would fail.
Yep.
Like, for example, I love the hell out of all these beautiful women entrepreneurs, where, like, what they're doing right now is they're like posting these glam pictures, and they're like, do you have this problem? I did too. And it works. And I'm totally not making fun of them. But, like, if I did that, like, that's not my authentic me.
Yeah. Yep.
Or there's, like, bro marketers who are like, get ClickFunnels and take pictures next to expensive cars. Everyone, try it, live it, learn it, love it.
If it's you too, I mean, if it's authentic,
it has to be authentic. And so for me, I found that I built my business from, like, I literally quit my job one day. And then a year later, I was making 6 figures completely alone with, side note, not to sound like a hypocrite here, no customer journey, no systems, no capture, no website, no nothing. It was 100% relationship driven.
Wow.
And looking back, I didn't do it on purpose. I think it's my personality. And I'm trying to pick out the academia of it. And I would like to launch a course on how people can and should be more authentic in their marketing, because I feel like if I was systematized and I put all this stuff together, because I build it for other people for a living.
But it's unique for each person.
Yeah. So if I put these superpowers together, I'd probably be president, but
at least president.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I study marketing. I build marketing for a living. I'm an automation expert. I'm in my opinion, the best freaking community in the world. Keep Certified Partners are beautiful human beings, and they care about you. And I'm like, remember I just said this earlier. This is what I mean. How many people do you know that say, well, I don't market, all my referrals? Are you formalizing it?
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Literally every single one of my clients is because I put myself out there and I met people who were complimentary to me. And like, so Pam knows that I have a skill now. And when she meets someone who's like, dang, I wish I had automation, who do you
Boom.
think is going to give that client to?
Yep.
And I didn't do it on purpose, but I'm going to nail it out, and I'm going to build out the jadeolivia.co site to offer courses on community, offer courses on relationship marketing, and offer resources for lifecycle marketing, which
I
is
love it.
the journey. So
Because what you're
that's my
saying
journey.
is what I'm thinking. Like, I know what I'm doing flies in the face of everything I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that it's worked, right? Maybe there's a point at scale where it doesn't work, but I refuse to believe that there's a way to do this. So, but nobody has turned this into something that can be studied, and you have to be the right kind of person to want to do it this way. Um,
Right.
and
Like,
I
I
think
don't think I'm a good enough marker. It's not that I think those other fads are bad or
right,
ineffective. It's not me.
yeah, and I think that's exactly it. You're not a mark, and I think that might be the key. Like you said, I do all this stuff, and I found the common thread. The common thread was relationships. That's what I thrive on. And if I look at mine, it's the same way, whether it be clients or speaking gigs or, author book signings or whatever. It's that interaction that really sparks the fire. And so the way that I kind of built out the community I'm building is just say, well, I clearly like to do this, and I hate to sell any other way. I just want the person to think of me when either they or somebody they know needs this thing that we do.
And you can and should automate that. And I'm in the process of even building that for myself. So I'm
Love it.
eating my own dog food right now.
Excellent.
And I'm excited to because I love building it for other people. And it's like so enlightening to like put my own words in
Yep.
an email and in a text. And it's really, really fun for me.
I can't wait. Well, we're going to be working together. We're working on the timing now, but for the same reason, I just think we think so much alike.
I would love your expert feedback and, on like how you built a business without
Mhm.
a Facebook ad of, you don't have, some people are really good at Instagram reels. I mean, I'm just not going to go on Instagram every day and dance. Like,
Mhm.
I personally, so I will say this, guys, you can't use COVID or whatever as an excuse.
Mhm.
I quit my job in March 2020 when the world shut down. Granted, I was fortunate I have a skill in an industry, digital
Yep.
marketing, that was in high demand at the time. So I'm not saying that like I'm perfect or anything, but um, I live for Zoom chat.
That's pretty funny. And she means Zoom chat. She means the chat box
Yeah.
in Zoom. Because I will tell you, at the campfire, I got so distracted with as being the host of the campfire because what was going on in the Zoom was hysterical. So she totally means it. If you ever end up, who knows, she'll end up at another campfire. You want to make sure you sign up because you could end up at one that Jade comes to. And man, just watch the chat. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody else. Just watch the chat.
And literally, if any of you are familiar with Stu McLaren, he's the
Yeah.
God of All Things membership.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Tribe Live last summer, so August 2020, and it was such a big conference being Stu.
And it was all Zoom.
It was all Zoom. And so what happened was when you logged in, you were randomly assigned to one of 12 Zoom rooms of 400 people each that were streaming into one live feed. So I landed in Zoom room 11. I kid you not, Zoom room 11 and I are still Facebook friends. Like we have a Facebook group called Zoom room 11.
That's
And like
hysterical.
we
Does Stu know you guys are still hanging out?
they all know me by name.
Does
And
Stu know what happened from that?
no, I should probably tell.
You should definitely tell him. He would eat that alive. I
Oh
know
my
I would.
God. Yeah. So, and then in the Zoom chat during the live event, I went there to support someone else's membership for whom I'm a community manager. I launched a membership in the chat on accident because 20 people said, shut up and take my money.
That's brilliant.
And then, but guess what? So, may sound like I'm tooting my horn. Here's the second half of that story. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a thing. It's, by the way, it's called You're Doing Great.
Love it.
Because I say that a lot. So,
Yep.
So my membership's called You're Doing Great. 20 people were like, what's your PayPal? I'll give you the money right now. Like, start this membership. So I did, right? Sounds cool. Then the conference ended and I was high on it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll launch an ad. Zero response.
Oh my God. Yes, me. Nothing.
And my heart still hurts. And the membership is still alive and thriving. There's 25 people in the group that I still serve every day. And like, they tell me constantly that their life has changed, that someone finally is giving them a pat on the back, like that. I love that. But I have not been able to effectively actually market it because it was an organic growth. And then now me a year later going, okay, what's my thing? Could it be relationships? And then I was like, oh, but it hurt so bad last time I tried to launch something. And then like a freaking light bulb popped on. I was like, oh, it's
It
because
was organic.
it's the minute I left the relationships realm and tried to do a one-way communication of who I am and what I'm doing.
Yes.
It fell flat on its face.
That's a really important insight there. Because when we, like, I'm the person who says, like, I pretty much on any thing that turns out to be a sales call have an 80, 90, 100% conversion rate. Because by the time people reach me, they know what they're there for. They know they like me. They know they trust me. We've been building a relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't have to spend time on sales, which is awesome. I get to develop relationships with people that turn into something that is awesome. And anytime that I try, I love what you said. If I'm talking with you, we're fine. If I'm talking at you, trying to tell you to come talk to me, it looks like anything else out there, and it's a dime a dozen. Right. That's where it just falls short.
It's just not my authentic me. And like, you know, maybe I could try again and pay, you know, a very expensive, you know, marketing agency to help me like distill my essence into, you know, a unidirectional,
an ongoing,
Sure. I'm sure I could, you know, figure that out someday. But like at the time, you know, I was like a 3-month-old entrepreneur, and I was like,
it hurts so much the first time. I have not done a Facebook ad thing that has not had crickets over my 5 years at this, but yet the business has grown from basically, I think the first year was a half a year was $50,000 to, you know, an $800,000 business at this point. And it's all been on relationship and referrals. And now I am finally going in and saying, okay, let's do that marketing thing. I've gone to find the funnel people. We'll see what happens.
Just gave me an idea. And this is important, friends watching. Always message mine, do focus groups. I promise you, you don't know everything no matter how much you know.
Yeah, that's so true.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a call out, you know, on social media and Facebook groups and everything. I'm going to say, if you rock at relationships and referral-based only businesses, I would like your story. And like, give them a questionnaire so I can apply it to my techniques. And like,
brilliant.
You know, there's like my boyfriend is, you know, a financial advisor, and like 30 years ago he was doing, you know, like brunches with nursing homes, you know, like just be like, my March 2020 version is different than someone else's version for sure. But like how can you sell it, teach it so that someone can be like, Jade, I want to pay $500 for that course.
Yeah.
And learn how I can replicate that with intention.
I think it's a brilliant idea. You should do that. In fact, put that call out here. Put it in our Facebook group. When you make the call for that, drop it in Profit Concierge Campground. I know we've got a bunch of relationship marketers in here. All right, I have sucked up as much of your time as I dare. You now get to think about going on vacation to California. And I get to see you when you get back, I hope.
Yes. Let's talk soon. And guys, thank you for all of you watching. I'm sorry I'm not like watching multiple feeds because I want to like live and learn Pam right now. But thank you for watching. It looks like the feedback is really good. I'm an open book. I don't charge to hang out and chat. So reach out, DM me on Facebook, email me. I don't even know my email. I don't care. No one knows my website or email address. I don't know. I don't even have a website.
And I will vouch for her. She will talk to you and answer whatever questions you've got, because I have done that to this poor woman. And I love this.
Give me.
Like, okay, we'll drop. And if you have questions, if you're watching this on replay, drop in #replay, drop in your question. I will make sure that we tag Jade and get you answers, because she's the answer woman on all things relationship, keep, automation, systemizing, client journey. we've got a real resource in our midst, and I'm just so grateful you're here and that you did
Ah,
this with us.
thanks for having me. You make my life
Awesome.
greater.
All right, everybody, have an awesome rest of week. Keep it
Bye.
going. Talk to you soon.